You know, my voice sounds a little different. No, I'm not a robot. It's just a gift from the universe. I'll give you 5 seconds to get used to it. Let's begin. You already knew. You stayed silent, even to yourself. And that thought didn't disappear. It just went quiet. For example, I wanted to sleep for 1 month. I wanted to run away from everything. And now I have to ask, that thought, where did it go? There is something you suppress. We all have it. But the question we don't ask is this: does suppressing destroy it? If you weren't an intelligent person, you wouldn't want to control everything. Or does it move it somewhere else? You can't answer this question. By the end of this video, you will realize everything. Let me say this: you are good at suppressing your thoughts. Very good. So good that you don't even notice you are suppressing anymore. You wake up in the morning. You make your coffee. You check your phone. That thought comes a fraction of a second. You move on. This is a cycle. Comes even when just sitting at a table. Ignoring it has become a skill. And have you ever thought, when did you learn the skill? When you were little, you said something. Someone stayed silent, or laughed, or said, not now. You learned in that moment. Some thoughts are not said out loud, and that lesson is still inside you. It has become your reflex, your protection mechanism. Suppressing thoughts is like closing a door, but what's behind the door doesn't disappear. There is a voice there, low, patient, waiting, because thoughts want to be resolved. You don't allow them. I think this is like not liking coffee, but deliberately buying it every day. Over time, that voice changes. It doesn't soften. It hardens. I noticed this. The people who seem the calmest are the ones who suppress themselves the most. Appearing controlled costs a lot. How much energy do you spend to bury a thought? Every day, every morning, every silent moment. And then in the evening, you feel tired. You don't know why you are tired. Do you know? Suppressed thoughts go somewhere. That place is a place you can't exactly see. You only feel it. Sometimes it comes out as anger, causeless, sudden. Sometimes as tiredness. That why do I feel so empty tiredness. Sometimes your chest tightens, and you attribute all of it to other things. The weather, traffic, people. Wednesday night, 11:47 p.m. You're in bed. The phone screen lights up your face. Something comes to your mind. That old thing. The thing you buried for years. You open YouTube, or music, or just scroll. That thought passed. You thought it didn't pass. It just moved to the waiting room. I usually escape by sleeping. Look, I want to ask you something. Answer honestly. You know the name of that thought. You could name it, but you don't, because naming makes it real. And the thing that is real has to be changed. That's why you leave it nameless. That relationship, that career plan, always silence. And this is actually very smart, but also very tiring. You're still here. Good. So somewhere you recognized yourself. That little you still hides some of your thoughts, because it learned. Hiding is safe. But here, no one silenced you. Yet you silenced yourself. This time you chose. Where do those thoughts go? Now I can tell you. A part of them goes to your body. That weight on your shoulders. When you clench your jaw. When you have to take a breath. A part of them goes to your relationships. The things you don't say to people change the way you look at them, without realizing it. And a part of them goes to the most interesting place. To the thoughts that return to you. I didn't notice my cycles in a romantic flow by the seaside. I got up in my sleep. My obligations forced me to it. Have you ever thought this? The thoughts you suppress are shaping you. Not what you say, what you don't say, your decisions, your reactions, your choices. And you can't see this, because it's not visible, but it's felt. When your voice changes, when someone's words affect you that much, when you don't know why you are so angry, in that moment, something suppressed is speaking. With you, with your mouth. There is a thought you haven't told anyone. Maybe for years. You expect it to go away because you haven't said it. It doesn't go away, because thoughts want to be heard. Just this, to be heard. You never listened. You don't have time. You don't bother. Now that thought is speaking much louder. It's just waiting to be heard. Reason 1, you don't feel safe. You suppress a thought because having that thought feels dangerous. The word dangerous feels too big. But what I mean is this: being judged, being misunderstood, or worst of all, being proven right. One night, everyone is asleep. You are still awake, and it comes to your mind, maybe this relationship isn't for me. And immediately, no, I shouldn't think like this, you say, because if that thought is true, your life has to change. And change feels unsafe. Your suppressing is not fear, but it comes from fear. You are doing exactly this. Reason 2, you don't want to name it. When a thought gets a name, it becomes real. Saying, I am unhappy, is very different from, I am a bit tired. Wednesday afternoon, office. Everyone is looking at their screen. You are looking too, but actually, you see. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself. Nothing. And it passes through your mind. Years are passing, and I am here, still here. But immediately a meeting reminder. Immediately an email. Immediately something else. Because you don't want to complete that sentence. Does she really love you, or are you really wasting your youth there? Not naming is not denial, but it arrives at the same place. Did your chest tighten when you heard this? Reason 3, suppressing works. For a short while. Here's the strangest part. Suppressing really works. For that moment, you buried your thought. You continued with life. You even laughed maybe. And the brain learns. Suppress. It works. Sunday morning, at the coffee table, everyone is talking. You are smiling. That feeling is inside you. you. You know you are suppressing, but no one sees. This feels like it worked. You can only fool yourself for a short time, but short-term gain is long-term silence. You are doing this every time you suppress. This is not just for big thoughts. In relationships, you can't say, I'm uncomfortable, because you think it will sound silly, but the discomfort accumulates. At work, you can't say, this is wrong, because you don't want to lose your job, but that feeling is sitting somewhere. In family, you can't say, they don't understand, because you would hurt them, or you have stopped trying. In your self-talk, you say, I don't deserve this, but not out loud, inside. And the things said inside seep into the deepest place. In your habits, when people use their phones too much, they are actually running from themselves. And in your decisions, the quietest suppressing is choosing not to decide. Waiting, as if time will solve the thought. It doesn't solve it, it just makes it heavier. I am realizing this. People who suppress are very good people, considerate of others, acting with finesse, empathetic. Exactly for this reason, they suppress their own thoughts. Because those thoughts sometimes feel selfish, sometimes angry, sometimes too honest. Being honest is not always being kind. Being good is a choice. Being honest is sometimes a necessity, or an escape. Suppressing is not kindness, just postponement. Those suppressed thoughts will want to speak one day, and you won't be able to choose when, how, next to whom, because the suppressed things choose their own time. At the most wrong moment, when you are most unprepared. In the middle of an argument, someone says something innocent. You react disproportionately, and it passes through your mind. Why did I get so angry? You know why, but you don't want to think about it now. Getting angry and fading very quickly is being stuck, and this is exactly you. And the cycle continues. The thoughts you suppress don't disappear. They transform into your body, into your relationships, into your reactions, into your tiredness, most of all, into the story you tell yourself. When you say, I am like this, maybe what you suppress is speaking. When you say, this is not for me, maybe what you suppress is deciding. And when you say, everything is fine, your eyes fill up. Even a raised voice can be enough to make you cry. Everything is not fine, and you know it too. I am not telling you something you already knew. You knew before this video started. You just wanted to hear its voice, the voice of what you suppress. That voice was always there. That thought, where did it go? Now you know. It didn't go anywhere. It just waited. And now a question for you. You know the name of that thought. So when will you say it out loud? You already know the answer to this question. And that answer is disturbing. Very calm, but a slightly different feeling. You learned to suppress, but you learned one more thing. To choose when to suppress. How did this choice shape you? With great costs. You had new problems in other layers. But that's the topic of the next video. In the next video, I talked about you. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself.